So normally in these flipping videos, I flip one PC at a time, but today is different. We're gonna shoot for 2 PCs flipped. I already got the deals lined up, so follow me along with my journey. Let's go in the car and I'll tell you guys about all the deals we're getting. The first deal is super far away. It's a whole Dell XPS computer which can be case swapped easily. He had it listed at $300 and wouldn't budge much in price, but we're getting it for $280. This guy's a motherfucker. He made me drive like 2 hours and he's not even answering his texts, his phone calls, the door, nothing. He just, what the? Okay, with all the anger earlier, because he fell asleep, he literally texted me when I was 15 minutes away, sorry man, fell asleep. And he actually was willing to drop the price, so I swung back around, picked up the PC for $220, and that's a steal. Originally it was already a steal, but now it's an even better deal. On to the second one. The deal I'm going to get right now is an i7-8700 for $120. We negotiated back and forth and settled for a price of $120, which is a pretty good deal. All right, we got the little processor right here. And this guy actually answered the door the first time I was there and didn't have me wait. So that's always good. On to the next deal. The last deal for the day is probably one of the best deals I'll get in a while. It is far away, but it's well worth it. It's a whole computer for $180 and it has well, you're gonna have to watch the video to find out the specs. Alright, we finally got that last deal. I'm so happy that all the deals worked out. They were all pretty smooth, other than that first one. Do not forget about that first deal, that was horrendous. Anyways, let's go home now. Finally getting home pretty late with a total of around 6 hours of driving. My girlfriend and I split the driving, which was nice, and for those of you wondering, I spent around $60 on gas. We haven't ate dinner yet, so I won't be testing tonight, but I will be going over all the parts tomorrow and testing them out as well. Alrighty, let's get ready to power this first one on here. Alrighty, let's just power this one on and see if it works. Let's go, come on please. DVI. Let's go. Sweet! Alright, if I'm gonna be honest, I already knew this one worked because I saw it on at the guy's house, but I just wanted to show you guys that it worked before I tinkered with it at all. But the specs for this one, it's an i3-8100 GTX 964 gig, 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte SSD, and a terabyte hard drive. But now let's power on the other one and see if it works as well. This one's a big boy, but let's plug in the power cable, power it on. Where's the power button? Oh, it's up top. Okay, boots right up. Well, turns right on. Okay, we got some blue LEDs though. Let's hope this one works too. Right away. Ooh, okay. But all right, there's some problem with it, but hey, it works. We will definitely figure out that problem. But the specs for this one, it's a Ryzen 7 1700 RX 580, 16 gigs of RAM, and a 500 gigabyte hard drive. But now let's list these things, and at the end of the video, I will compare the test results before and after I do upgrades to these systems. So, upgrades, what am I doing? Well, obviously the cases, they're pretty ugly, you know. I mean, this one got some blue LEDs, but the other one's just a basic Dell XPS. And this one probably wouldn't sell that best either, neither would the other one. So we're upgrading cases. I bought 2 budget cases on Newegg. They're not here yet, but they're on their way. They were on sale, so that is why I bought them. But sadly, by the time this video is up, they will not be on sale. But they look like some pretty good cases. I bought a white one and a black one. They're the same exact cases, different colors. And then I bought some Vetro V3 coolers to go along with it. And now we just play the waiting game. One of the cases finally got here today. I'm not going to sit around and wait for the other one to get here, so in the meantime, let's build one of these sick gaming PCs. Holy, this PC, it was a pain. It was a pain to build. I had to take this little retention arm off, this like locking mechanism for the CPU to mount this cooler. So hopefully it still works. I don't see why it wouldn't unless the i7 doesn't work because we haven't tested it yet. So let's go ahead and power it on. Oh, flip the power switch. Maybe. Come on. Oh, there we go. Just a bit. Okay. This is my first time seeing this PC. Obviously, my first time seeing this case, and it looks fire. I don't know how well you can see it on camera, but come on, display something to the monitor, please. Might have to change the signal output. Oh, it's not one. There we go. There we go. Never mind. I couldn't even talk. Okay, it's just it's testing the CPU fan for some reason. But anyways, the final parts of this build, it has the i7 8700 that we got for $120. The GTX 960 4GB version, MSI, looks super clean as why it matches this case pretty well. For the RAM, it's a HyperX Fury kit of 2x8GB clocked at 2133 MHz. The SSD that originally came in the system was a crucial 1TB SSD, but we're swapping that out for a 120GB SSD and taking $60 off the total cost. And then we're keeping the original WD Blue 1TB hard drive. And the power supply is an EVGA 500W 80 plus that I got for $10 off my Facebook Marketplace. And then this case, the Easy Gaming W500, it's a micro ATX with RGB fans. It looks pretty clean. And that brings the total cost for this system to $311.26. But unfortunately, we can't list it today because this Dell motherboard has two USB 3.0 headers, but this case has a USB 3.0 plug and a USB 2.0 plug. So I had to order a USB 3.0 header to USB 2.0 header, if that makes any sense. So that gets here tomorrow and we'll list it tomorrow. But for the time being, let's retest it with this i7 and then compare the test results. The first test we did with this PC with the i3 in it, it got an average FPS of 173 in Fortnite, and it got a Firestrike score of 6,446. After swapping over to the i7, it got an average FPS of 180, which isn't much higher, but it got a better Firestrike score of 7,009. We fixed the first error. It was a CPU fan error, so I just connected a 4-pin fan to the CPU fan header. But there's another problem. Just wait. It's a power button cable failure. So that means this motherboard is a proprietary. Sadly, the power connectors are just proprietary. I've tried every pin and I just can't get it to pass this screen without hitting continue. And I wouldn't like selling a build like this saying, oh, basically press F1 on setup, you know? That's just not what I'm into. So I found a motherboard that supports this processor on Mercari. I'm sending an offer right now of $41. Hopefully they accept. If not, then maybe I'll just pay asking. But anyways, that's what's happening right now. Yo, finally that other case got here. So let's go. And also the motherboard on Mercari that person was selling, they accepted my offer, but it'll take a while to get here since there's no Amazon Prime. So let's get started on building this AMD gaming computer. But unfortunately, we will have to use another motherboard due to the proprietary connections on the Dell one. Alright, now that the build is finally done, let's see if it works. And sorry I didn't record too much of it, because if you can't hear, I sound like shit and I feel like shit as well. It's probably just a cold, but you know, sick or not, I gotta build PCs. Now that it's all done and being built, let's just retest it and compare the test results and talk about the upgrades we did. The first time we tested Fortnite on the AMD system, it got an average FPS of 146 and a Firestrike score of 11,296. Then after minor upgrades and cleaning the parts, it got an average FPS of 153 and a score of 11,468. The better scores are probably due to better temperatures in the upgrade we did. Alright, the final parts for the system. The CPU is at Ryzen 7 1700. The graphics card is a Radeon RX 570. It's either a 4GB or an 8GB version. I'm not sure yet, but I'll have it up on the screen. And then the motherboard is an Asus Prime B450MA. I paid a little bit too much for this because I bought it on Amazon a while ago for a project and I just missed the return date. So I had it laying around and I kind of just had to use it. We also upgraded the RAM to a 2x8GB kit clocked at 3000 MHz. The original RAM that came with this system was one stick of 16 gigs clocked at 2400 MHz. First of all, for Ryzen, single channel is not good and slow speeds is not good at all. And then for storage, we threw in a 128GB SSD, swapped out the 500GB hard drive for a 1TB hard drive. And then the power supply is a Gigabyte P450 80 plus bronze rated. I got off Mercari a while ago. And then the case, as I said, it's just the black version of the other one. It's an Easy Game W500. It's pretty clean. And then the awesome little CPU cooler is a Vetro V3. But now that we're done with this system, let's get it listed. I'm thinking around 650 or 700. Probably gonna settle for 700 because people tend to lowball. And also when that motherboard arrives from Mercari, we'll build up that other PC again and get that one listed. But in the meantime, hopefully we sell this one. Also, let me know what you think of this cable management. Honestly, I took some time on it just because I was bored and I wasn't recording, but I think it turned out pretty good. Alright, quick interruption. I'm actually listing it for 800 because it turns out the GPU is an RX 580 8GB, and the average price for that on eBay is around $310 when it's sold. And that's the pricing I go off of to price my builds. So please don't hate me and think I'm scalping. I'm just going with the market, and you know, I gotta make my money. Yo, my bad. I totally forgot to give you guys the peel. Take a listen. Oh, yo, it's been so long since I've sold the PC. I'm not even sick anymore. But actually, we should be selling one tonight, the Ryzen PC. The guy said he's coming on his way, but I haven't really heard from him, and he hasn't asked for my address yet. But I'll update you guys if he texts me or anything else. Finally, we sold that. I honestly thought he wasn't going to come. He was taking way longer than he said. These hundreds are all fresh. We got 6 of them here. We got a profit of around $233.64. Now we just got to sell this other one. Yo, finally. It's pretty late right now. It's about 11:41 at basically midnight. But someone Venmoed me $50 to hold the other PC that we still need to sell for tomorrow. So we're finally selling that last PC. I was getting a little nervous because I was about to miss my upload schedule. But hey, I will pick up the camera tomorrow. We just sold the other one, and yeah, it looks like I'm in the same clothes, but it's just the same color shirt, so I don't know. But yeah, we got another 600 right here, plus the 50 on Venmo. So, ladies, gents, cats, dogs, and maybe a couple goldfish out there. Today's profit, we got a total of $313.70. The first PC's profit was $233.64, and then if you add that all up, that gives us a profit of $547.34. I had to use a calculator because my brain's kind of small. And just a little FYI for you guys, these 2 builds took me roughly 2 weeks each to sell. So I don't always sell them super fast. So if your builds are taking forever to sell, don't get too discouraged because mine take forever as well. And if you also notice, I've been doing these last couple of shots just standing up because I've been trying to hide my setup. I got something coming in the next video with my setup. So stay tuned for that. But with all that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.